Hey friends, Diane here. Because Jesus is God with full and absolute authority, only He can empower us to be more than we could ever be. Only Jesus can take an emotional, impulsive, and fearful fisherman and make him into a steadfast, thoughtful, and bold pillar of the new church. On day 15, called Rock, we turn to Simon Peter. It is interesting to me how God refined and then used his character to be a more powerful leader for the spreading of the gospel. Listen to how the authors describe his pre-Jesus and post-Jesus life. Pre-Jesus, Peter was directed by emotion. Post-Jesus, Peter was directed by his intense love for Jesus. Pre-Jesus, Peter was impulsive. Post-Jesus, Peter was stable, but the culture was not. Christianity was changing everything, and leading that charge required the ability to adjust, pivot, and respond to the Holy Spirit on the fly. Pre-Jesus, Peter was afraid. Post-Jesus, Peter was afraid of ever turning his back on Jesus again, therefore becoming fearless regarding everything else. Notice it was not like Peter wasn't still emotional, impulsive, or afraid. It's more like God transformed his weaknesses by turning them into strengths. Instead of being self-centered in his emotions, God used his emotion of love to become deeply devoted to Jesus. Instead of being impulsive and just doing whatever Peter came up with, God used his passionate spontaneity to, as these authors said, respond to the Holy Spirit on the fly. Instead of being fearful, God used the fear of the Lord to keep Peter at his side throughout the rest of his earthly life. And now Peter is with Jesus forevermore. My point is, even without major transformation, God can use us just the way we are, but we must be willing to use our time, talents, and treasures whatever way the Holy Spirit leads. Weaknesses can become strengths if they point us and others to God. We will end with another quote from the authors. Jesus accepts us as we are, but he knows who we'll become by his power, and he's making us what we're not. We'll continue tomorrow. See you then.